Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm back. Today I wanted to touch on Barefoot because I've had quite a few comments recently on my Barefoot videos, my previous ones. So today we're going to talk some Barefoot real talk. No bullshit here, just real talk. I'm going to start off with sort of some things that I feel like are a little bit of a negative, kinda, and then I'll move into the good stuff because I just want to get that stuff out of the way first. So some of the things that I still don't get about Barefoot, comment below if you can shed any light on these, because these are some things that honestly, after doing it for 2 years, still confuse me. So I would really love to know what other people are doing. First thing is, I know that Laurie and I've been very open about that in previous videos, have been pretty liberal with our spending still, and we've been like, yeah, we're paying off our debt, but we're also really enjoying our money at the same time. So we haven't fully committed and gone in hard like I know some people have done, and that's been completely a personal preference and something that we decided would be best for us. However, I still don't understand how it would be possible if people are in the same boat as us, beginning in Barefoot and being at over 60% worth of expenses, just being like your normal bills alone. How the hell are people paying off what they say they're paying off? I know you shouldn't believe everything you read, but some of the things I've read are people paying off like 80 grand of debt in like 3 months. I'm like, how is that possible? That's more than I earn in a year. That's honestly something that I'm like, even if we were sticking to it strictly AF, we would still not be anywhere near having that kind of a story. So there's that. The second thing is the Smile account. Now I know obviously I've adapted it and I have made more accounts for us, which I'm actually second guessing at the moment, but we'll talk about that later. But the Smile account. So for us, we split that into 2 different accounts, and we made it a holidays account and a house account because they were the most important goals that we sort of had, was house and a holiday. My question to you guys is, what do you use your Smile account for? Because I feel like if I didn't have it separated into those 2 categories, I don't know what we would use it for, but I think we would use more than what we do now, because I think there wouldn't be any, you know, really hard rules around what is something that makes you smile. For example, if you're a woman and you get your hair colored and your nails done, does that come out of your Smile? Is it a daily expense because you get it done regularly, or is that a splurge? I know that this does come down to a personal preference and interpretation, but I still just want to know what you guys think down below. Let me know. The other thing with the Smile is sometimes we love to just get away for the weekend, or we'll go down to Melbourne just for one night, or we will go to music concerts, football, things like that where it's required to purchase tickets. So tickets comes out of our holiday account because it's sort of like a holiday / adventure. So tell me if that's something that you use your Smile account for, tickets. Just briefly touched on this, but where is the line for you for when it's not a daily expense, when it's not a Smile, it's just really a splurge? For example, I've said before, I no longer get my hair done anymore because I'm trying to save that money. Because to me, it didn't seem fair to take that out of a daily expenses account, so I took it out of Splurge. And then of course I couldn't afford it because I don't have enough money in my Splurge week to week. Like, I'm getting sweet FA in my Splurge account. If I go out for a few coffees and maybe lunch, poof, she's gone. So not really able to splurge much of my Splurge. So tell me, where are you drawing the line? For example, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, doctor's visits. Do you have a separate account like I did for those sort of things? Or are you taking all of that out of your daily expenses? When you buy birthday presents and Christmas presents, where are you taking that from? Let me know. Offset accounts. If you have got any of your accounts set up in offset accounts, I would love to know about that. Please tell me what bank you're with, because obviously, being that I've got quite a few accounts on the go at the moment, I feel like that could be a really good option for us, and I would like to look further into that. Thank you to the lady who recently commented on one of my videos telling me how she used to do it the way I did it and has now changed to doing it that way with a spreadsheet, because it's really got me thinking. So I appreciate your words of wisdom. Thank you. Daily expenses. So for us, I don't know about you guys, but it just seems like the more we earn, the more everything else goes up. We never seem to be able to get ahead. So our gas and electricity bills this winter were astronomical, to the point where we actually went and paid like $300 to have a special remote installed that could program the heating to come on and off, because it was so cold in our house. We were having to leave it on all night because we live in the coldest place ever. It was just running up the bills like there was no tomorrow, and I pay our bills every week, but they're still coming in high when they're coming in. So that's been a real struggle. We've had to dip into fire extinguisher when there was money in that to be able to pay a couple of bills because they were so high this year. So tell me that, are you able to catch up? If you were over 65% of your daily expenses, did you catch up eventually? Does it just keep going up for you too? What am I doing wrong? Who's the best provider, do you guys think, for gas and power and insurance, all that sort of stuff? Tell me below if you've got any insight into any of that. The good side, right? Because it's obviously worth doing, and I don't want it to sound like I'm not enjoying it, because the greatest thing about ever reading this book, and I'm definitely going to read it again soon because I just need that refresher, because I feel like I'm getting a little bit lost and falling off track, if I'm very honest with you. After 2 years, it's sort of been on autopilot. It's been a little bit like, you know, the novelty's worn off. It's a bit like, blah, who cares? Just take it from wherever, I don't fucking care. So I think that it could be a really good idea for me to reread the book and just get re-inspired and re-motivated to crack down and really just get back to building up all of the accounts that we have. We are so much more financially better off than we have ever been in our lives. Even when we feel like we're a little bit like broke or whatever, like we might say, oh, we need to really be careful this month, we don't have any money. We've still got ridiculous amounts of money sitting in our accounts. It's just that when we say we don't have any money, it's like we don't have anything in our splurge or daily expenses, and you just almost block the rest of it out because you know that it's not for that, it's not for you. That's for another time, another thing, another place. And that gift itself is just magical. We are just so much more aware of what we're spending down to every single dollar, and that has just been incredible. So I just still can't recommend the book enough, and as I said, we'll be reading it again very shortly. We are almost 100% debt free, which is amazing, and we've got, you know, nothing hanging over our head that's not a necessary debt at the moment. We've even been in talks about potentially investing, which is super cool. If you've already done that, please tell me about that below. Let me know your stories. I'm really keen to hear and get some advice from you. So that is just awesome. Like, we've just learnt so much through doing Barefoot, and we've been able to achieve so many goals. What we've been able to do thanks to reading this book is just awesome, and it just feels so freeing to have ticked things off and to have things set up and put in place so that we don't have to worry financially anymore, and that is just an incredible gift. I am so happy that I was introduced to ING through this book, because I love ING. I can just, like, honestly, I can't rate them highly enough. The only problem I have ever had with them is when I posted a check and it never got to them. But obviously not ING's fault. Australia Post's problem. Don't we love Australia Post? What has been good for that is our Mojo account is now in a NAB high interest account. So obviously NAB's a pretty common bank, so she's around all the time, and it's so much easier if we get a check or something. Normally it's sort of money that we didn't have, so we can just go on in and drop that into our NAB account, and it just builds up our Mojo, and it's brilliant. On the money side of things though, if you do happen to have a lot of cash for some reason, maybe you get it gifted to you and you want to put it in your bank, you can do that at some post offices with your ING card. You just literally give them the cash, scan your card, and it goes automatically in there. I didn't know that for a long time, so that's really handy to know, FYI. This year we had some really exciting stuff happen with Laurie and his career, so he decided he would go out on his own for his plumbing. And it's been so cool that we've had this Barefoot experience because it just helped us immensely in that process. We had a greater understanding of finance. It was just great that we didn't feel flustered. We knew what to put in place for that. And I think it would be really cool if maybe Scott Pape did do a book on Barefoot for businesses, because that is something that I think we would really benefit from. And if we would, then a shit ton of other people probably would too. So I know he's just done his family book. I'm putting in a request for a business book. Hope he hears that. Tweet him or something, will you? Since reading the book over the last 2 years, Laurie and I have both been developing other sources of income, because he talks about, you know, getting your little side hustle together. Laurie's been doing some paid cricket coaching outside of his plumbing. I've been working casually at Peter Alexander on the weekends, and we've got other things in place that we're working on trying to build up to a point where it will make us money as well. So that's something that before this we probably really wouldn't have thought about, and I'm really glad we did, because that's just that extra little bit of pocket money that comes in and helps out. And yeah, we just want to get as many sources of income as we can. This is going to sound a little bit odd being in the good things list, but we are so much harder on ourselves now. Like, we are just so hard on ourselves when it comes to our money, to the point where we really question if we need something or not, or like we really take the time to think about things before we buy them if they're, you know, bigger purchases. And I think that that's a really good thing that this has instilled in us, because obviously you need to be a little bit frugal or you're not going to have savings. So if you're a little bit too much YOLO like we used to was, it's not going to be great for the long term. But yeah, it's just given us much more responsibility and power and control over our money that makes us feel like we're in control of our lives, which is obviously what you want to be, because it's your life and your money, and they're important to be in control over. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's been a little bit different to the other ones that I did. I just thought it was important to come on here and be real with you guys about this, because I don't know, is anyone else struggling with the fact that there's so many people out there with these incredible success stories, and you're over here like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not that person? Do I have a spending problem? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying, guys? You know what I mean? Anyone else feeling me? Am I on my own over here? Am I alone in this? Please tell me below. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'm sorry it was a bit of a long one that dragged on a bit, but I appreciate your support and watching, and all the comments that you leave me are awesome, and it's awesome for other people to be able to read them too. So keep that in mind. If you've got any advice and tips and tricks that you want to share with me, you're sharing them with heaps of people, and it's really helpful. So you're making a difference and you're helping people, and we all appreciate it. So thank you very much for interacting on my videos. I will see you in my next video, guys. Thank you. Bye.